Sono davanti alla console del Cayman.
I'm standing in front of the console of the Cayman 45.0 cruiser, a maxi rib from Ranieri International, and this is SIMRAD's glass bridge, with two displays showing all sorts of information. But what lies behind these monitors? Which systems do they communicate with? How are they connected?
E come sono connessi? A bordo abbiamo un numero sempre crescente di apparecchiature.
We have an ever-increasing number of pieces of equipment on board, and it's become essential to install and manage them in an optimized manner. And so Navico Group has brought together several nautical accessory companies under itself, including four fundamental brands: SIMRAD, Lawrence, B&G and SIMAP. But what does this all actually mean? That the shipyard can entrust the design of all the onboard systems to a single supplier, and we boaters, when and if necessary, could turn to one single interlocutor.
A un solo interlocutore. Vediamo di cosa stiamo parlando.
Let's see up close what we're talking about. On the displays we find the sounder, cartography and radar.
Il radar. Ma abbiamo un display anche in cabina.
But we also have a display in the cabin that allows us to see what is going on above deck, perhaps at night or whenever we're below deck, without having to physically go back above ourselves. And then, of course, all the engine data, all the mercury information.
Dei mercuri. C'è la possibilità di escludere alcune funzioni da questi.
There is the possibility to exclude some functions from these tools in order to avoid, for example, improper use. Here on the bridge we also have the physical switches that duplicate the touchscreen, and yet another level of safety offered by SIMRAD is that of intervening directly on the fuses to activate or deactivate the onboard systems, in case all this doesn't work.
Che tutto questo non dovesse funzionare. La cartografia di SIMAP.
The SIMAP cartography offers us the possibility of seeing the bathymetric lines of high resolution, with a difference in depth of just 1 foot, 30 centimeters.
30 centimetri. Guardate il livello.
Look at the level of detail. It's spectacular.
Anche il radar è di SIMRAD.
The radar is also from SIMRAD and can be superimposed on the chart. And then, of course, it has an anti-collision function that warns us in case we risk colliding with another boat. And then there's the SIMRAD VHF radio too.
C'è anche la radio VHF di SIMRAD. Ma questi strumenti sono fondamentali.
But these tools are also essential for home automation that uses Blue Sea electrical systems and C-Zone control units, two other Navico Group companies.
Navico Group. Ora guardate come sono chiare.
Now look how clear these images are, how easy it is to use them too. When I turn on the navigation lights, they appear here in the outline of the rib, and this also applies to the roadstead light.
Questo vale anche per la luce di fonda. Dovete sapere che queste grafiche sono state disegnate.
You should know that these graphics were designed by the shipyard's designers, and Navico's technicians inserted them into the system. A perfect synergy between manufacturer and supplier.
Costruttore e fornitore. Adesso vi faccio vedere la pagina che preferisco.
Now I'll show you my favourite page. It's the one related to energy. The trend of the flows and the choice of the source are very clear, whether the batteries, the dock or even the generator are autonomous from the onboard systems, which are from Mastervolt, like the batteries.
Gli impianti di bordo, che sono della Mastervolt, come le batterie. E anche Mastervolt è un'azienda di.
And Mastervolt is also a Navico Group company. And then there are many other functions. This page is user-friendly. It tells me how much fresh water we have and what situation the black water tank is in. And I can decide whether or not to activate the pumps, just like I can turn all the navigation lights on and off. Instead, on this page, we need the password, because this is a page dedicated to the installer.
Questa è una pagina dedicata all'installatore. E infine, la
And
pagina
finally,
degli allarmi.
the alarm page, which is empty, and that is always a good thing.
Questo è il primo Cayman 45.0.
This is the first Cayman 45.0 cruiser. Keep in mind that these pages will be developed further, and it could get to the point where you no longer need to consult the manual or have the need to call a technician for
E
explanations.
anche chiamare un tecnico per avere spiegazioni. A bordo abbiamo anche lo stack batterie, il BEP, il
On board we have the battery stack, BEP, dock cable by Marinco, and bilge petrol pumps by Whale. All of these companies are also part of the Navico Group. And I should also add that Navico Group is part of the US giant Brunswick, which produces Mercury engines. Basically, on board this Cayman 45.0 cruiser, you can't get better interconnected than this.